Hey, good morning, everybody. I'm running a little bit late here. I apologize. I had a lot of different work that I needed to take care of and get some things taken care of around the house. So, um, wanted to let you know it was a great weekend. Had an awesome weekend. Out in DC, being my first time. I heard coming back yesterday that the Bills lost last second play, whatever happened. I'm not exactly sure. But that sucked, against Kyler Murray. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, Roger. Kyler Murray, I didn't even know what happened. I didn't even see what happened. So, but that sounds about right. The Bills got to learn to play every play. It's always been the case, right? It always seems like there's these plays that they take off or the throwaway drives, whatever it is. And who knows, even if the NFL is legit. And I know so many people have tuned it off. I don't even watch it, I'll be honest with you. I can't watch it on TV. If I do, I'll listen to it on the radio. If I'm just out doing something, hey, good morning, Ken. Or I'll go to a recap. I used to do the recaps on Facebook or on YouTube. They do like a 10 or 11 minute, and you get to at least watch everything without watching the commercials, which, oh my God, with the commercials. How painful is that? So, I heard it was super windy. And, it was about, Pennsylvania there at some point. Car just blowing all over the place in the rain and everything else going on. And, I heard power was out in a lot of different places. So I'm like, the power always goes out here at my house. Like, always goes out here at my house. I'm driving home and I pull down and I'm like, yep, everything's out. Jim's truck stop was out, which that hardly ever happens. That like never happens. And good morning, Dave. Good to see you, brother. And then I'm driving down my street, all the lights are off. I'm like, great, house is gonna be freezing cold and no power. So gonna be a cold night, better put on a couple of sweatshirts, the hoodies. But I got home and God, I don't know what happened. Like my power never stays on here. But somebody was looking out for me and the power was on like literally all around, all out. It stayed on for me, so I was blessed. I felt bad for everybody else. I'm sure it didn't get too cold last night, but I'm sure everybody was okay. Hopefully you guys have your power back on, or if not, hopefully it'll come back soon. One of the big things, guys, I know I'm going to mention this. I'm going to do kind of a, something that I've done for my family. My mom, my father does it. He did it, but if you guys can get it, it's well worth the investment. One of those natural gas backup generators, get them for your whole house. Don't have it just on a few circuits. Get the whole house one. It's a little bit more. Good morning, Kevin. Great to see you, brother. It's a little bit more, but it's no big deal. And you get that peace of mind. That power goes off. It doesn't matter for how long the power goes off, guys. It can be off for a month. And that natural gas generator is going to pop on. It's going to keep running. It's going to keep your house, you're not even going to have to worry about it. So if you have loved ones, families, or mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers, kids, even your kids, and they have their own house, have them look into, good morning, Nate. Just have them, good morning, Jackie, just have them look into getting one of those natural gas backup generators. It automatically senses when the power goes out. It tests itself once a week, and you get the repair guy to come in once a year. I do sound like a commercial for this, don't I? But get it, guys, seeing all the power out and just knowing the anxiety that so many people are feeling, especially if somebody's elderly and they have some medical devices. Generac, oh, see, there you go. Nate installs them. That's awesome, Nate. Very cool. I have to have you make sure you message me, Nate. I can get that information out to some other people, and I may use you. So the Generac, I believe, is what my mom has and what my father has as well. And my grandfather, before he passed away, he had it installed. Great, great, great thing. And, if people have medical devices, or you just don't have to worry about it. Like everything is all set, completely taken care of. So yesterday was a little bit less eventful than what we had on Saturday. Not going to lie, a little bit disappointing, but it wasn't the end of the world. I think everybody was there for Saturday, and I think a ton of people left after Saturday. And like I said in my live the other day, I think a lot of people stayed. There would have been way more people that would have come had Antifa and Black Lives Matter not been given a blank slate, a free reign to do whatever they wanted to do to anybody by Washington, D.C. mayor. A Washington, D.C. mayor, a Buffalo mayor, anybody like them, John Flynn, the DAs, good morning, Mark. It was awesome hanging out with you. It was awesome seeing you. These mayors, they're terrorists. They are complicit in every single crime that is committed against any single patriot, including Biden. People were attacked by an organization they say is a myth. They say doesn't exist. They say doesn't funnel money to their organization. They say that they haven't talked about before. Oh, well, you're on video talking about them. No, that wasn't me. Okay. So they are all terrorists, complicit in what is happening. Patriots were attacked. You guys can see it on video. Young couples that were not violently engaged, not engaged in any way at all, coming up from behind them. We saw a couple of the attacks right by us. We saw a couple of people that joined our group because Antifa, just cowards, right? They're pukes. They're mental midgets. And most of them are on drugs when they come out. And I know this because I know people locally here that were a part of those organizations or continue to be a part of those organizations. We have our plants in every single one of their groups. We have our plants within National Lawyers Guild. We have everything that they do. We know what they're doing before they even do it. We have our plants with everybody else in the town that thinks that they're operating covertly, behind the scenes, trying to subvert everything that we're trying to do, which is truly protect the people. If you're a part of Antifa or Black Lives Matter, your only agenda, Byron Brown, Mark Poloncarz, any other superintendent around town, police commissioners, police chiefs, your only agenda is to instill fear into people. It's to intimidate people. It's to threaten them. It's to distract them. It's to make them think and focus about something that they shouldn't ever have to focus on. Good morning, Gina. Hope you had a great weekend. The law enforcement is there to protect us. And then in Washington, D.C., the mayor told all of D.C. police to stand down. We had hundreds of thousands of us walking through, not one violent incident, but that was how the media portrayed it. The media portrayed it as we were the violent ones. We were the initiators. We were the aggressors. We were the antagonizers, and we weren't. People were marching from 10 a.m. until 5 or 6 a.m. Not one incident, right? And you have multiple Black Lives Matter and Antifa groups that are all around, and not one person, even Biden supporters. You would see the occasional Biden supporter. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Dave. Nobody would harass that person. No one would attack that person. Nobody would go after him. Hundreds of thousands of people. And Antifa and Black Lives Matter, they want to put it on their video streams like, oh, hey, we're courageous. Look what we did. Yeah, you're real courageous. You know that law enforcement is going to arrest anybody that attacks you, and you know you're free from being arrested for doing anything to anybody else. Yeah, that takes courage. Ann and I had heard that there were events that took place afterwards on Saturday that did get violent and escalate, and I don't know if Trump supporters were arrested or not, but I could see that happening very easily. I can't confirm if anybody did get arrested or not, but Trump supporters didn't assault anybody. They didn't, what's the word I'm looking for? They didn't attack anybody. Nobody got attacked by Trump supporters. So we ended up going into their town, and we got attacked. Somebody got stabbed in the face. An old man got knocked out. His phone was stolen. Couples were attacked, hit in the back of the head. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, there was a Black Lives Matter rally at Black Lives Matter Plaza, terrorist plaza, We know you're all a bunch of terrorists. We know that you're stealing and funneling hundreds of millions of dollars into the organization, for communist means. To put it to the different fascists that are out there, the different dictators, and these different, we know that it's going to, guys. Good morning, Ronnie. We know that it's going to fund different campaigns for DAs, for sheriffs, for judges, for politicians. We know it's all going there. At this point, guys, we have a couple of options. Good morning, Bill. It was awesome getting a chance to hang with you this weekend. Love hanging with Bill, guys. We had a great time. We have a couple of options at this point. We got to hope and pray that Trump takes back, that he ends up winning with all the challenges and Dominion and all the, the investigations that are taking place. We need to hope and pray that office gets held, because if it doesn't get held, the disaster that's going to happen with Biden is going to be absolutely horrible. Yeah, see? Look at this. So Mark just said there was an article that said the mayor told police to arrest Trump supporters. Good morning, Kim. So Antifa, that is literally occupying your town and forcing people to board up their entire town, forcing our city. DC is our city. It's our nation's capital. It's all of ours. So the businesses that operate, the people, the families, and everybody else that operate that, Antifa is terrorizing it and occupying it at this point. They have taken it over. The mayor is supporting that. All the attacks, they support that. No arrests, stand down. But if anybody at all from Trump supporters does any one little minor thing, they're going to arrest them. And here we were supporting Washington D.C. PD, and I don't know how Washington D.C. PD is or how they interacted with anybody. I know they were very respectful. I know we were cheering back the blue and Blue Lives Matter every time we saw them, and I think they were appreciative. I know a couple of the officers did mention to us that they were very happy and grateful that we were there, that they were very happy and grateful we were there. And you could see that, guys turning around and raising their fists to us. How would you love to be a law enforcement officer and your mayor and your police chief telling you, allow people to commit crimes, allow people to terrorize your town? That has to be infuriating. And if you do anything or say anything, you're going to lose your job. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this or not, because I'm kind of on the fence with it all. You guys know that I try to seek peaceful ends to everything and everything that I do. Our group, Watchmen, we're being called fascists. We have people that are out there actively trying to, put signs up around town. They're printing signs, spreading lies about our organization. Our organization is a peacekeeping organization. That's what we do. We're a counter-protest group to terror groups like Western New York Liberation Collective, like SURGE, like National Guild of Lawyers, like One Society here in Buffalo, like Black Lives Matter here in Buffalo, like Antifa here in Buffalo. Any of those groups, guys, and the groups radiate out and out and out, and they come up with different cute little names all the time to try to hide their identity. But we stand up against these fascists, these people that are actually fascists. Before I get on to this, I just want to laugh at every Biden supporter. The most hilarious thing is this: when you can convince black people or people of any ethnicity, white people, angry white women, angry white men, to vote for a racist, a known racist, a documented, absolutely. We will rise. Absolutely, Diana. When you can get these people to vote for a known racist, a man that did a eulogy at a known KKK member's funeral, a guy that has called out black people time and time and time and time again, dozens and dozens and hundreds of times throughout that guy's career. the womanizing that he did to all these, what he did to the kids, all the kids, all known. When you can get people to absolutely forget that it is hilarious, they're all carrying a Biden-Harris, and you're like, come here a second, here, watch this. Oh, you doctored that. Okay, here, let's watch this one. You want to watch this one? Watch this one. No, he didn't say that. What's a video? You seriously think somebody doctored this back in like 96 or 2005? God. Or whenever it is that this guy has been in office for 47 years. So it brings me a ton of comic relief to know that these people supported a known racist. And not only was he a racist, but just the horrible things that he supported. The legislation that kept people of all ethnicities down. And it's chronicled. It's like, okay, you don't want to believe the video. Well, here's what he voted for in the ledger. Here's them standing up in front of Congress. Do we doctor that too? You had one thing, Trump grabbing whatever, and they lost their minds, right? Not a racist in any way. All these people that supported him, but they believe and are convinced that he's a racist. But Biden is their savior. And then them holding up the Biden and Kamala Harris. You're like, come here, watch what Kamala has done to the black community. You can't make this stuff up. It just shows that they all want to fracture everything that we've built in this country. And then they want to grow that divide, and then they want to take advantage of it and exploit it. So why does Antifa and Black Lives Matter and New York Lawyers Guild and Surge and groups like Western New York Liberation Collective and One Society, why do they run around doing the things that they do? Because they're unchecked, because there's no local media calling them out, because local media will say they're a myth. Local media, or even large media, CNN, will say they're peaceful protesters or mostly peaceful protesters, yet everybody has to board up all their windows for those protesters, those peaceful protesters, those people that are glassy-eyed, that come out and are all high on drugs and are riding around their bikes and hitting people in the back of the heads and wearing their masks and their goggles and press things. They're peaceful protesters when they're going around and assaulting people, knocking them out and cheering. And Facebook doesn't do anything about it. Facebook lets these people talk about the violence that they're going to commit on Trump supporters again and again and again, and they will not take it down. Even the videos of it, they'll take our videos of a peaceful marching parade. So what does that say about Facebook? Terrorists. Facebook are a bunch of terrorists. They are against everything American at this point. Why do you, Facebook, why do you leave up the videos and the hate speech? Why? That's clearly against your community standards. So what is it? Is it that you want communism in this country? You support that? Why do you advocate it? Why do you condone it? So for me, Watchmen is a peacekeeping group. That's what we are. However, we did see the Proud Boys down there. We saw the 3%ers, and we saw the Second Amendment people. And those people came together in the thousands at night on a Saturday night. And they went through and they marched the streets together, chanting, and, Antifa didn't know what to do. So the reason, guys, Antifa is not that big, even in DC. Black Lives Matter is not that big, even in DC. One of these so-called strongholds where we were there, and they should have been the counter-protesters. And that CNN and MSNBC, this group that doesn't exist, and that's a myth, they all of a sudden come out and say that there will be the counter-protesters, BLM, Antifa, will be there at the tune of tens of thousands of people. They weren't there at tens of thousands of people. They were there at hundreds of people. Maybe they had 1,000 total. And that's in DC, guys. It is all a big smokescreen. It's a big smoke show. All a lie, all a myth. As far as their numbers, the groups that are there, good morning Tracy, good morning Barb, the number of people that their groups have are not a myth. how out of their minds and whacked out they are is not a myth. The reason they passed bail reform was specifically for these people, so because they know they don't have the numbers. So they need the psychopaths and the sociopaths to be out of prison, not getting arrested, and if they're not getting arrested first, but if they do get arrested, even if they kill somebody, even if they end up, they're not going to look for them. They're just not going to do it. There was a missing Trump rail. There was a missing woman, and pray to God, let's pray for her. I don't know if she was found, but I pray and hope that they didn't murder somebody in D.C. But if they would have, there would have been no investigation. None. The mayor would have said that the Trump supporters were antagonizing, and that's how far off the reservation everything has gotten, guys, is that people will listen to somebody like that. And guys, make no mistake, 94% of the vote in D.C. went for Biden, a racist. These people voted for a racist. And would there have been an investigation? Probably not. Oh, well, they came into town. That's a chance that they take, right? And, you know, these groups aren't that big. So when our groups were walking through and we were, you know, the Proud Boys and the Second Amendmenters and the Three Percenters, when they were walking around town, Antifa was nowhere to be found. All the chants going, right? Antifa scurried like the rats that they are. You know, like the cockroaches that they are. They're lower than cockroaches. At least cockroaches are, you know, and it's an insult to rats too, because at least they serve something. You know, and this is something I always want to ask Antifa and members of Antifa and Black Lives Matter. What have you done? What have you built? Name one thing. You know, you walk around any town, any city, tell me one thing that you've done and built. Same with these politicians, these leftist, Marxist piece of garbage politicians. That just, they infect every single corner of our government right now, because it's just, they get each other in. They know exactly how to do it. They get each other in. What have they built? Nothing. They don't work a job. They haven't built a building. They haven't built a house. They haven't repaired a house. They don't know how to do anything. Well, we're tearing it down. What are you tearing down exactly? You're tearing down good people's hopes and dreams. That's what you're tearing down. That's what you're a part of. You're a patsy. Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Surge, One Society, you guys are paid patsies. Just so you know, you're being used. You're being exploited. The reason you're being used is because they know you are mentally ill. They know exactly how to press your buttons. They know exactly on what triggers you. And they know what to say. Do you think for a second, National Lawyers Guild, when it comes right down to it, that they give a damn about you? They don't. These guys are making their scratch. It comes right down to it. They don't care about you. And you know what the best part is? So many of you do it for free. And they love it that you do it for free. You take out all the risk. You know, you guys put your necks out there. You know, put your faces out there. You're on FBI lists now. You know, they're watching you. You have people watching your houses all day long. You have people we know where you work. We know where you guys work. We know where you live. And you did it for free. You did it for free. Do you think that the head of local Black Lives Matter, Antifa, whatever the hell you guys are calling yourselves now, do you think those people want themselves out there at the front lines, the National Lawyers Guild? No, they don't. They're running behind the protection. They're running behind the veils, right? Yeah, I know, I saw that. And that's another thing, guys. I'm getting to that, Mark. So many, well, that's another thing. All you guys that are doing it for free, right there. You got people that are getting paid. So you are so clueless, and these people know it, that they're going to come, and they're going to get you to do it for free. They're going to make, you know, but then they got people that they're paying. So you, Mr. Free Person, free woman, free man, whatever it is, that's going out there, and, you know, put your name, you're doing all this stuff. We're revolutionary. We're going to change this. What are you changing? You know, let's have a conversation. You don't even know what you're changing. I'm just pissed off. What are you pissed off at? I don't know. I just want to break stuff and, and break people. Yeah. Okay. So I guess that's fun. I guess that's some kind of payment and reward to satisfy you, which is sick and depraved. But you are doing it for free when other people are being paid. We know they're getting paid. But you on the bottom end, the bottom feeders there, they know that. And they target you instantly. And they use you for everything. They get you that text out. They get you that message out on Facebook and on the page and come on out. And they get you to do all this free stuff. Probably even using your own money to do this stuff for free. Well, the skateboard guy, the skateboard girl, and bike girl and bike guy, they're getting paid. Gotta ask for some of that scratch, guys. Gotta get some money. Can't be the guy getting, pushed into the boards. You gotta get paid. Can't be the goon. I know everybody wants to be Gretzky, right? Gotta get some of that, man. Gotta get it. So I laugh. I laugh hysterically at that these people are just being used every single day. Man, maybe you like being used. I don't know. Maybe you just like bringing down the establishment or trying to bring down the establishment. But here's the Mr. Antifa, Mrs. Antifa, BLM, all you guys. Here's the bad thing. Now we know where you live. Now authorities that really matter know where you live, and we know where you work, and we know all this other stuff about you. We know what you're doing. We know when you're doing it. But now, Proud Boys, I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to meet some of these guys, Proud Boys and 3%ers, and some of the Second Amendment groups. You guys know what Second Amendment stands for? Like, maybe read the Constitution. Maybe. Right. You gotta, no coffee for me. And I gotta eat breakfast yet too. But, hey, all I could say is, I'm thankful that I'm on their side. Now, these guys are patriots, these women are patriots, but man, they are skilled and they are very, very, very good at what they do. And they're not happy. They're not happy at all. They're not happy that you attack people. They're not happy that you're a terrorist. They're not happy that you don't get arrested and aren't held accountable for your actions. They're not happy that you attack any ethnicity, young couples, elderly couples. They're not happy about that. And these Proud Boys and the Second Amendments and 3%ers and all the other groups, guys, they've got pretty good contacts in law enforcement, FBI, ex-military. They're really, really good shots. And unlike you guys, they exercise and they train and themselves, their bodies, and they train together as a unified unit. Are you guys doing that? Are you guys doing that on your side, Mr. and Mrs. Antifa, suburban Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Surge, One Society? You guys doing that? Because I don't think so. So now not only do you have all this other stuff working against you, where we know where all you are, we know who you are, now you got a whole group of people of all ethnicities. That's right. Mark makes a great point. All ethnicity, black, Latina, Latino, Asian, like they all hate you. They all hate you, Black Lives Matter. They all hate you. Every one of you, all of them, Indian people, Arabic people, all in those groups. And you white supremacists, like they showed a picture, group that says they love doing that. They love falling back to that white supremacist group that says they're not white supremacists, we're all white people, Okay, so let's take a look at your Black Lives Matter group. Anyways, so you guys have all of these people against you, and Proud Boys are pissed. So you guys think in D.C., right? So what's another stronghold in the country? Portland, allegedly, right? Seattle, allegedly, right? You know, Baltimore is so badass, right? In everything that those guys are doing down there. Well, in D.C., guys, 3,000 or however many Proud Boys were marching the streets calling Antifa out. Antifa scurrying, like field mice, like scared little field mice that they were. Yeah, that's right. So they hate police, and Mark says it. And guys, we witnessed this. This is literally what we witnessed, and we can firsthand account on that these Antifa and Black Lives Matter, they're all big and bold when they got the cops there and nothing can happen to them. They even run to, I'm glad, Linda, they even run to the cops. Like, Proud Boys marching down the streets, you know, F Antifa, and scurrying over behind the cops, protect me. And it sucks that cops have to protect these people. Like, it absolutely sucks because they should get a beat down. And here's the thing, because if you don't, just let's take a look at this. One Trump supporter over the weekend, they attack a black person. What is that going to be? The entire Trump protest is all racist. It's filled with racist people. Right? And guess what? Just like the past 4 years that they have been calling Trump supporters racists and every other, you know, was xenophobe, all the other terms that they had, right? All those in terms that they had. 4 years, how many incidents of a Trump supporter? Jeff. You know I love you, brother. Great seeing you. Jeff was everywhere down there, guys. He was here, he was there. He had John Savino's back. You know, thank God he had his back. I appreciate everything you did, Jeff. You know, Jeff was networking. He's always networking. He's like, you got to talk to this guy. He's from Texas. Yeah, I was like, I got you. So, just awesome. Thank you, Jeff, for everything you do, guys. I mean, if you ever see Jeff out, guys, he's one of those people that I talk about that are just a true patriot. You know, doing any cares about people. I mean, he's stuck by John Savino this whole weekend. John was hurting. He walked down. He couldn't get back. Jeff was committed to making sure he was all right. Phone calls, texts, and everything else. Even when I couldn't, he was on the case. You know, once I realized what was happening, I appreciate that, Jeff. And Jeff took all the videos of everything that was happening, too. So I don't know how Jeff does it, but he's got a motor. He's got this energy. So thank you. Thank you so much, Jeff. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right, guys. You're welcome, Jeff. You know, it's my pleasure. And Mark was talking about it too. That the police were giving Proud Boys an escort. How amazing was that? And you know what? And I thought about it. I was really upset. You know, I was just wiped out. I was exhausted. Saturday night. And I told everybody, I'm like, text me and message me where this is. I'm going to go down there. We're going to be a part of that. And I thought to myself, you know, on Sunday, that I go, man, I'm really upset I missed that. I wish I would have just been alive enough to have been able to do that, you know, driving through and just being wiped out and needing to go, I crashed right out. But, you know, this huge part of me was like, man, I would have loved to have been there. But then, you know, another part of me says, well, it's probably better that I wasn't there because, you know, being so recognizable, especially in this community, and even across Antifa, you know, with you know, my face being everywhere and what they call me and everything else, I supported what Proud Boys and the Second Amendments, the 3%ers, completely. Like, let's just make no mistake, support it 1,000%. Wish I was there to be a part of that because the attackers, the terrorists in that town, they were not there. They were not being held accountable for the people that they assaulted. And that's wrong. So Proud Boys were out there with a police escort doing it. What should have been done and needed to be done. And that's what needs to happen in every town, guys. You know, these militant groups, I support it 1,000%. You want to know why? Because first off, they go across all ethnicities. They are all inclusive. They will protect anybody, and they will allow anybody into their group. If you didn't have Antifa, if you didn't have mayors, if you didn't have DAs like John Flynn, if you didn't have county executives, if you didn't have town superintendents, town officials, police chiefs, police commissioners, all of these people, this huge mountain of people working against innocent people, people who pay their taxes. I can't wait to see that, Jeff. And you have all of these people working against my neighborhood, all the people in this neighborhood. Guys, and while I'm thinking about this, John, good morning, John. I know it, brother. I wish I was there too. Anyways, it was amazing to see us take back our city and hold these people accountable. The media, guys, they are terrorists. And here's what needs to happen. We need to go after every single one of these people. We need to go after them where they live, legally. We need to go after them where they work. We need to constantly hold them accountable for what they did. The media is complicit in this. All these government agencies are complicit in this. You know, they are aiding and abetting the criminals and terrorizing us mentally and emotionally, our families, our friends, our neighbors, by doing nothing. Do you know how many people, even strong people that I know that are strong, that fear Antifa? All because it's excuse me, that was cute. At least I didn't pick my ear, even though I kind of sorry guys, I must be hungry. My belly's screaming right now. But I could not do this. I had to do this for you guys. But do you know how many strong people I know that have this myth of Antifa and how big they are? And they're not, guys. They're not that big. We were in the DC. We were in the heart of the beast. The heart of it all, the belly of the beast. We were there, and we took that town back. That city is ours, and we took it back. And what needs that? I wasn't gonna mention that, Mark. I was gonna leave that one go, but it was amazing. And you just imagine, guys. You know, you take a look at Buffalo. And people are like, yeah, but that was the whole country that came together, Pete, and we were able to do that. No, guys, do you know how many patriots I talked to yesterday? And I gave them instruction on what they can do. And I said, it starts with one thing. You know, people looking at me, what can I do? What can I do? And I gave them an easy roadmap of what they could do. Jeff, yesterday, telling me to talk to the gentleman from Texas. What can we do? This is what you do. This is what we are doing. Guys, we take this back together. We take our streets here in Buffalo back. We take our streets back in Rochester. And here's the reason, and here's why we do it and how we can do it. Because these people are running out of steam. Let's just say they were as big as they could have been and they were moving full force. But now, you know, all that momentum is lost. And these people aren't committed to that. They're not committed to it because it's not righteous. It's not, they don't share some of their views, but most of it is just because they're angry and demented, right? So you know, we come together, all of us, the way we are coming together, and we have more. Guys, we have hundreds of thousands of people just in Buffalo to make the changes, to take it away from the tyrants, to take it away from Department of Health, SLA. Do you know how many government employees I talk to that they say, yeah, the police, law enforcement aren't going to do anything to enforce Cuomo's draconian and tyrannical rules and laws. They're not going to do it. So they weaponize the SLA against restaurants. They weaponize the Department of Health against the restaurants. All the narcs and everybody else that are out there in town, they weaponize them against them. Guys, our numbers are hundreds of thousands. We don't need all of them. What we need is many of us as we can. We take back this city, we take back Rochester, we take back Syracuse from the true terrorists. The true terrorists that have been undermining us, our financial liberty, our happiness, liberty, our pursuit of happiness, liberty, our kids, that these terrorists who have been occupying these offices forever and doing nothing. Guys, the true terrorists that have driven our kids out of our home in New York, they have driven our families away from us. They have driven the money out of our pocket, or out of our pockets with 50% taxes or more. tax redundancy after tax redundancy after tax redundancy. That's the true mafia. Those are the true crime bosses. Antifa is nothing. They're just useful idiots. They're using them to distract, instill fear, create chaos. That is what they do. It's always distract. It's always deflect. Look over here what they're doing. All the while, I'm passing mandatory vaccinations. All the while, I'm keeping you from going and seeing your loved one. All the while, I'm using my position of power and authority to accomplish all these things that are the true evil. And that is what we need to attack. How do we attack it, Pete? We make all of these people that they can't go to our establishments anymore. Pulling cars, Byron Brown, anybody, any politician, Department of Health official, we find out who they are, we get their names, we put them on here, and we get as many restaurants and small businesses and supermarkets to ban them from going into any of these establishments ever again, for life. That's a great start. The next start is we get local digital media that combats the narrative that's out there with truth. And we expose every single one of their lies and we hold them accountable every single day. Then we build up. We know we can't do this. Those are big things. You guys don't have to worry about all that. But you do have to worry about it because we need the people. We need the support. We come together one person at a time. You guys create those small groups. You tell us what exactly. Use their tactics against them. Every single one of their tactics, employ it against them. We go after them at their businesses. We go after them at their homes. Legally and lawfully. We make sure they know that we're watching them. Every single step. We make sure that they're held accountable through local media. Hey, James, good morning. Good morning, Charlie. Great. Hey, Charlie, it was awesome seeing you, buddy. Thank you for bringing everybody out. I know Charlie wasn't feeling the best, but I hope you're feeling better, brother. We do these things one step at a time. And we build it together one step at a time, individually in our own groups, but then always collaborating and making it work and taking it back. Are the tax, for example, property taxes. Here in Cheektowaga, they were raised, but for some people, like almost 60% because they did a reassessment on everybody's homes. How criminal is that? You are literally creating a situation where somebody can no longer afford their home to live in it. And then they're either not going to pay their taxes, and then they're going to have their home taken by local government and then sold and then not given the proceeds, and then they're living in a home off of the state that's going to have to provide for it because of that. Guys, that is an act of terror. That is theft. That is what they are stealing from us. That is big, big picture, guys. Absolutely big picture. And it's not that big to tear it down, guys. Department of Health is not that big. SLA is not that big. Just like I told you guys, Antifa, in D.C., the stronghold of D.C., when they knew Trump supporters were coming out, their numbers were in the hundreds, maybe a little over 1,000 in the whole town, maybe a couple of thousand at most. I didn't see all of the Antifa, but that's where their numbers are. It is smokescreen. All of it is smokescreen. It's the media making it seem way bigger than it is, and that applies to the government as well. The government is not that big. Let's take a ride down to Cheektowaga. Tens of thousands of people that live in this town. I don't know, 80,000 maybe it is. I don't know what the number is in Cheektowaga. But I know that all of law enforcement and every government official, town, highway, parks department over in Cheektowaga is what? A few hundred? We have the numbers to tear it down. We make these people held accountable every single step of the way. We ban them from going into any of our establishments. Well, Pete, that's too big a thing. Why not? Why is it too big a thing? It wasn't too big a thing for them to shut us down, right? And to continue to shut us down with lies that we know are lies. If they can get black people to vote for a racist and sing the praises of voting for a racist, we can certainly keep these people from going into our establishments and banning them for life. We can certainly have local digital media in every town reporting on and holding these people accountable. We can certainly follow one individual at a time back to their houses, to their places of business, and make sure that they know we are watching them. These people that are going to instill tyranny and fascism into our lives. They do that to us, right? But they use it under the guise of law, right? They want to make it seem like, well, this person is tyrannical. They're going to portray us and paint us in every light that they can. Just like Trump supporters down in D.C., peaceful, but we were the problem. We were the aggressors. We were the ones that needed to be arrested. We were so violent and bad that there wasn't even an ounce of garbage on the streets. Walking through it on the next day on Sunday, looking around, and anything that could be considered a garbage can because the mayor, and I don't know if it was for Antifa or if it was because they wanted us to make us look bad. I don't know. But if garbage cans weren't around, what was the reason? There weren't any garbage cans around, and there was still no garbage on the streets. Hundreds of thousands of Trump supporters. That's how bad we are. That's how evil we are. We are so thoughtless and careless and reckless that we pick up our garbage. We even pick up our garbage, that you need to arrest us if we commit a minor crime, whatever that crime is. We can take it back, guys. We have the numbers. Groups like Proud Boys are a necessary thing, and they're necessary because they're where government is stopping, and not even where government is stopping, guys. Like, that's not enough to say that. Government is literally aiding and abetting terrorists. Police chiefs, mayors, they're telling their law enforcement to let these people be. So who's pulling those strings, guys? DAs not enforcing the law, knowing that these people, and they're trying to downplay it, right? They're trying to downgrade it and say, it's not that bad. But me, go after that guy, guns blazes, which I don't even know where that case stands, guys. I'll give you more details on that. I got to call Cheektowaga Town Court, find out what's going on with that, but I haven't heard anything yet. But come, get guns a-blazing, inspection ticket, take his car, he hasn't paid his $100 in taxes, take his house, $100, right? We wish it was $100, but that guy, that group is marching through and terrorizing and occupying the city. Let them go. John Flynn, that's not a big deal. Somebody uses the N-word, not even against a black person. We're going to go after him, and we're going to use all our resources and send all this army of law enforcement after them, right? That's what we're going to do. But we know these people are going to burn and assault and try to pull people out of vehicles, but that's okay. We're going to look the other way. They are the terrorists, guys. They need to be removed. They need to be held accountable in every single way. And the ways that I just described are the ways that we go about accomplishing that. And individually, together, we start to build these groups, guys. Absolutely, Diana. Guys, Diana, as much as Jeff does so much work, and as much as Charlie does so much work, and as much as so many other guys do so much work, Diana is behind the scenes. And Diana does so much hard work, just like Gina Gentry and Nancy Orticelli is behind the scenes and on the radio and doing political. I don't even know how Nancy does everything she does, honestly. And Gay Thompson, I have no idea how Gay and Joe Pabilski and all the other names, John Winstead and all these people, I don't know how they do everything that they do, but they're able to accomplish so much. And thank God for every single one of them. Thank you for Diana for so much for doing everything that you do and helping with Good Morning Kim and helping Good Morning Amanda. Good morning Nick. Look at my side. Look at my side. I don't have a side. Look at my side, Nick. Oh my God, the rally at Friday night. But anyways, I'll stay on point here. Good morning, Nicole. It's not that big. Nick is a guy that's been fighting it forever too, So we can do this. One of us makes a huge difference. Imagine what thousands of us make when we're working collaboratively, collectively, in an organized and strategic and focused way, a disciplined way, in every single town across this county to take it back, to take our parties back from the Republicans and the conservatives and the Democrats and the liberals, to give it back to the people. Those parties to the people, and then there's systems of checks and balances so that You know, the scratch that's coming out for every single thing that we know is we don't sit at our tables and say, oh, hey, we know this is happening, we know this is happening. Nobody's held accountable. You know, nobody's held accountable. Now we start to act together in a unified way. Proud Boys, 3,000 Proud Boys, walking through the streets of DC that is supposedly a Black Lives Matter and Antifa stronghold. They have the mayor supporting them. They had everybody scurrying. In a town of millions and millions and millions. How many millions of people that? All those office buildings. I mean, one block after. I mean, I couldn't believe how big DC is. Like, I had no idea DC was that big. I really didn't. And, you know, if you can take back DC with 3,000 people, imagine what we can do in this town with 3,000 people. Bye-bye, John. Here we go. We got a nice little cell for you. Have fun. Here you go, Mrs. Teacher or Mr. Teacher, that are trying to indoctrinate our kids and utilize school resources and taxpayer resources. We've got a nice cell for you. Here you go. You broke the law. There you go. Lunch is coming. We'll get it for you in a little bit. You know? Hey, Mr. and Mrs. Voter election fraud person, there's laws on the books that are against that. You do realize that, right? That's a crime. Here you go. Have fun with your metal toilet. These people need to be arrested. And they're not being held accountable. And they're not being held accountable because you have DAs like Flynn that advocated any means necessary, right? That's what they all say. You know, all those politicians, you know, advocating and condoning all the violence that is happening. They do that for a reason, guys, because it victimizes the rest of us. It keeps us down. It keeps that neck on the throat, or the neck on the throat. That's kind of tough. Keeps the foot on the throat, right? You know, kicked in the back, hit in the back of the head, just like Antifa. If you want to know how all politicians, but especially here in Erie County, how local politicians are, just look at any member of Antifa. Local politicians, cowards. Absolutely cowards. Mark, awesome. Guys, Mark has local Proud Boys recruiters number. Reach out to Mark. He'll get you in touch with them. Hey, Antifa. Hey, infiltrators. Good luck getting in to the local Proud Boys chapter. Hey, we're accepting. We take everybody. You just have to do some things that, we'll just have to do some things to, yeah, no, look it, I get it. You know, Jeff, you know, I know that's, we're not looking to tear it down. You got to understand my position on this, Jeff. You know, my position is that everybody you have to have the mechanisms in place. You have to have those government agencies in place. Totally understand it. Not full out libertarian like that, Jeff. I do get that and understand that. So that's not what I'm talking about. But tearing apart the establishment that is there with these corrupt politicians one at a time, that's what needs to happen. And we need to have these offices, these agencies of the people doing what they're supposed to do, like protecting us from China and the Communist Party, because right now they're not. Let's just be honest. Right now, those government agencies, that is their responsibility. You have a lot of people that are, but like local, they're not. You know, they're against the people. I appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you. You know I love looking at you where you'll clarify and everything. Mark, get to Diana, please, and give her that information. But Antifa, if you want to look at what local politicians are, that you're Antifa, cowards, scurrying little rats and mice. That's what they are. All self-promoting, selfish people taking every single thing that they can get, raising taxes, every little piece that they can, get more money, insulating short. They got their little piece of the pie. They're growing local business. You're like, why are you growing? The town's shrinking. You know? It can be tore apart. It can be taken down. Proud Boys are an essential part because Antifa is completely radicalized, and you have every single law enforcement. I support and condone everything that Proud Boys do to Antifa, everything that Proud Boys do to Black Lives Matter, because they deserve it. And I got to tell you what, Proud Boys, they don't take it to a level where it doesn't need to go. You know, they're going to try to involve police the best that they can. But when you have a radicalized communist group like Antifa that is willing to attack people, stab them in the face, shoot them, and law enforcement isn't doing anything and the mayor isn't doing anything, what happens? That created that group. If law enforcement would have been doing what they're doing, if mayors weren't saying, come on in, and governors weren't saying, that's tearing down statues and attacking people are a peaceful form of protest. If those things weren't happening, the groups like Proud Boys wouldn't have to do what they do to hold people accountable. So let's take a look at this on a national scale, right? You have law enforcement, you have military. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Diane. Oh, wait, did I say good morning already? All right. So you have a military, you speak softly, but you carry a big stick, right? You have these groups in place, just like in DC, where then they cower, right? They absolutely, applaud her, right? That is a wonderful woman, wonderful individual. So, yeah. So, but the thing is, guys, it's just like a tool that we have, right? You have your gun, you have your shovel, you have whatever tool it is that you have. You got to pull it out when you need it and whip it out. Because even Antifa's got to shout, baby, get back. I couldn't help it, right? Whenever you got to pull it out, you pull it out. But then you have to put it back. You got to sheath it. You got to holster it. Because then you become no better than what they are. Beat them into submission, without a doubt. But once you're done, you got to put the tool away. It's got to go back away. Always have everything at your disposal, every resource at your disposal. That's just being a smart person, a smart American, to protect yourself against everything. But once you're done, it's got to go away. Yeah, it's fun beating up Antifa, it really is. And be disappointed when they're all gone and you won't be able to beat up Antifa anymore, Black Lives Matter. But once you're done, it's got to go away. Proud Boys are a necessary evil against the evils of Antifa. Well, Pete, the police are supposed to take care of it. Okay, well, where are they taking care of it? Tell me where that's happening, because the city of Buffalo has been told to stand down. Not one member of Antifa, Black Lives Matter, Western New York Liberation Collective, National Lawyers Guild has been arrested. Not one of those people have been arrested. And they have pulled people out of cars, beaten them, assaulted them. It hasn't happened once. So the Watchmen, we're the peaceful. We're the nice guys. Watchman's a good cop. Watchman comes in, we're like, hey guys, how you doing? And we're badasses. Don't make any mistake about that. But we're the quiet, peaceful badass. We're the Dwayne Johnson or whatever the hell it is, right? And as the good guy, as the good cop. And we're there. We're like, yeah, we're peaceful, and we're not going to talk, and we're not going to engage, and we've got civic outreach, and we're here for community outreach, and we're here for you guys, and we're here for the police, and we're here for the members of the town. We're here for that. We're all trained. So if it comes down to it, and you approach us, it's not going to go well either. Like, that's not going to go very well at all. Good morning, Elijah. Great to see you. Good morning, Tom. Great to see you, brother. Highly trained people you don't want to mess with at all. It's like, you think about it like this. Think about it like this. It's your mom, right? It's your grandmother. Your grandmother's a sweetheart, right? She is, cooking and making all the food, and she's buying your presents, and your mom is doing the same thing, and she's there supportive, and she's tucking you in bed, and she's doing all the really great things for you. But when you step out of line, whack, whack, whack. Don't step out of line with mama or grandma, right? Don't do it. She's gonna be nice. She's gonna be loving. But when she needs to pull it out, you better believe everybody's running. No, diving, going wherever you can go. Don't do it. Like I can't. Good morning, Jermaine. Good morning, brother. Like I can't put the Watchmen any better than that. Like we are comprised of all ethnicities, just like the Proud Boys, just like the 3%ers, all ethnicities. We represent every religion, color, and creed. And we're going to be that nice mama, and we're going to be that nice grandma. But you step out of line, and there you go. So, Proud Boys, and, that group there, they step in where it's needed, Good morning, Brett. Good morning, Josh. So, that's how it is. And if those other groups weren't there, and police and mayors and everybody else who we pay, they work for the people. And reading those edifices in DC that are inscribed, that somebody, just beautiful words that are, probably 3 or 4 foot high, each letter, just permanently etched in there saying the government is for the people, by the people. No government will ever act against the people or religion. Beautiful words. Words that each one of these politicians need to read and these government agencies need to read every day. But they haven't been held accountable for so long that they're in there getting theirs every day. The Fox. Man, nobody is going to check out, like, I got this. Nobody's holding them accountable. And it's up to us to hold them accountable. So, was I regretful that I wasn't out there with the Proud Boys? I was. I would have loved to have been out there doing what they were doing and helping. But at the same turn, I feel like everything happens for a reason. And, I'm also happy that I wasn't out there at the same turn. But I'm very, very proud of what those guys did and what the Patriots did. And I support Proud Boys 1,000%. I support 3%ers. I support the fact that they are all inclusive with every single ethnicity, every single religion, every single race, every single creed. They welcome everybody in. And no matter what anybody says, that's the way they are. No matter what anybody says about the Watchmen, that's what we are. That's who we are. I got nothing to hide. I know, Governor Cuomo has his office watching these. There's somebody from his office. I know that Poland Cars has somebody watching these. I know that. I know Byron Brown has somebody watching these. I don't have anything to hide. Not like these guys that are stealing tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars from each one of us. That they double standard with law enforcement and justice. It extends to each one of us, but it doesn't extend to them, right? And all the benefits that they enjoy as a result of being employed by us. And they forget that. These employees, and I've said this for decades, they literally think that it's a privilege for us to have them working for us. That's how they think about it. There are a lot of layers to this. Oh God, what is that thing called where you do the mashed potatoes and everything in? You got the beef in there. You got the shepherd's. It's a multi-layered lasagna. It's a multi-layered shepherd's pie, guys. But all the pieces of the puzzle are coming together. And I think the most encouraging thing about the weekend and going down there was not the weekend, the singer. I'm not listening to that guy. But thank you, Jeff. I appreciate it, brother. I guess the weekend's all right. I don't know. I should trash the guy. I guess he's talented. I don't even know what song he sings. Does anybody here know what songs he sings? Elijah, you probably do. But the most encouraging thing about this weekend was knowing that all of those patriots and warriors and freedom fighters and Americans who have American pride showed up together. Beautiful moment in history. Beautiful moment, what is going on right now. Transformative. with what Trump is doing, exposing, putting his neck on the line, putting his family's necks on the line. Because, I gotta finish with this. God, guys, the Republican Party and the Conservative Party, I don't know, maybe I need to start helping them with the rallies. I really do. Because these people who are responsible in D.C. for the single biggest event that we have had down in D.C., oh my God, like, where was the energy? Where was the lifeblood? Even the speakers, like, man, we need to hold tutorials with these speakers. Like, we really, yeah, absolutely, Mark, we did. And that's what's proven. DC is our city. But these speakers were like, blah, 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 blah. The whole time. It was just, where is the energy? Where are the chants? Where are the drums? Where is the music? And it was a little bit of that. And then the second day, they did the same thing. The rally was really, really small, but there was one guy with energy. One guy. And I don't remember what his name was. There were two guys. There were two guys that were there. They both had good energy, and they got the crowd into it. But Pete, construction guy, ex-postal worker, Navy guy, who lives in Buffalo and Cheektowaga, driving around in a 2007 Prius and a 2009 Toyota RAV4, I should not be better at this than the supposed best that we have for the biggest event that we have. And I'm not going to pat myself on the back. I'm not going to do that. But a little bit, holy shit, how was that event not better than it was? And two things to take from that, guys. One, the Republicans need a lot of help. Conservatives need a lot of help. And if we're going to take this back, we have to do that. That's the first thing. Second thing is this. Well, I guess there's three things. Second thing is this. We need to be better organized in everything that we do. And I saw that and noticed that with some of the first protests and rallies that we did here, that the information needed to be communicated in a better way to everybody. That's why I did what I did. That's why I do what I do. And I've compiled everything in a list of how you can, thanks, Nate, I appreciate it, brother. Oh God, where was I going with that? You made me feel good there, I got flushed, but anyway. So the organization needs to happen, because I noticed that that wasn't happening on a local level. It really wasn't. We get the rallies and get the people out, but then nobody knows what to do. And now we're doing even better, getting phone books or getting a separate phone to get all these patriots together, so everybody is working and collaborating together and doing everything that we can do. The other thing is this, though, on those protests and these rallies. Guys, don't ever think that you can't accomplish something, that you can't do something, that you can't make a difference. Like that you can't go down to D.C. Good morning, Joyce. Good morning, Jerry. That you can't go down to the biggest city and matter and make an impact and make a difference. Because you can. And I can almost guarantee you that everybody else is looking around going, because they don't have the courage to do it. And I think that was a big part of it, is that most of the conservatives and Republicans are not used to doing this stuff. We need to. We are here locally. We are doing it, and we're continuing to do it, and we're not going to stop doing it. Good morning, Deborah. Good morning, Joyce. But we're not used to doing it. So that courage isn't there, to say, okay, I can do this, and I can stand up, and I can chant, protest. Because a lot of us, we're those people that stand, not me. I mean, everybody knows me. I'm dancing every chance I get. But at concerts where you're not even going to sing, everybody's reserved. So there's very reserved, but don't think you guys can't make a difference and an impact in a way that is so uplifting and meaningful and inspiring and motivational. Because the best that we had to offer in our country fell short with the rally. And did I love the rally? Absolutely loved the rally, but both rallies, but it was more about each individual speaker rather than the group. And it was the same, again, with the Belcha, at least 3 years. Now they're in there. I'm doing both. Let me get the nose. So, Yeah, it was very, like the numbers that showed up, extremely inspiring. The conversations that we had with everybody, very inspiring. Where everything fell short was just like it fell short with our rallies and protests locally, guys. Not giving everybody else any idea what to do next. And that would should, like, Republican Party, Conservative Party, they should have all been out there, you know, with their tents, telling people, do this, go here, go here, go here, go here. And they didn't. No organization, none. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Michelle. None. Like, that should have been one of the top things getting. You know, different groups should have been there represented at the national level. Contact this, contact this, contact this, contact this. None of that. Now, I know that the event came together in probably a week or two, however long it took to get the thing together. But still, these people have to be on top of that. But what does that tell you? It tells you that there's not a whole lot of organization with these things that are extremely necessary, but critical and invaluable. The names that could have been garnered, the lists, you know, what email list, all of that stuff. What can I do to contribute to be a Board of Elections member, to be a committee person? You know, civically, how do I get engaged? What can I do? None of that was there. I know, right? Absolutely, Nate. But then even like, you know, just the lack of, like, how many times you saw that huge group of people so quiet, you know, just not really sure what to do, not enough people being organized in the group and doing what needed to be done. You know, we've had Marching Patriots rallies with 100 people or 150 people that were way more inspired. You know, the party that Lori and Paula put together out at Summit Park Mall, like, that group was insane. Music going everywhere. You know, Trump parades and beeps and everything else. That was amazing. Like, just imagine if, good morning, Brett, and just imagine if the Mega March would have been that enthusiasm and the excitement and that energy that Summit Park Mall had. Man, that would have been amazing. So don't ever think that somebody else has got it, guys. Like, we have got to stop doing that individually. I almost took my glasses off. We do, Amanda, I agree. Brett. Oh, yes. All right, DC Police. I'm going to take their word for it. 1.1 million. I love it. And thank you to DC Police. Love those guys and women. They were amazing. Guys, DC Police did their job brilliantly. They couldn't have executed it any better. Love those guys down there. Thank you, everybody, the men and women of DC Police. Thank you for that, Brett. That's huge. We have got to stop thinking that somebody else has this. We have got to stop doing that. Even on a national level, we have to stop thinking that somebody else has this. It's got to be us that has it. We can make that difference, guys. You know, all the groups locally here. When I talk to people from out of the country or out of the area, you know, outside of the state or even in the state, and I tell them what's going on here in Buffalo, they're like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah. You know, we're trying to create a formula and a template that can be replicated and duplicated. I said the worst thing that Governor Cuomo could have done to him and, you know, Byron Brown and pulling cars and everybody else, the worst thing that they could have done was to take a whole bunch of Bills Mafia with all that pool of creativity and resources and intellectual equity that we have and not allow us to go to Bills games. Like, that was the worst thing you could have done. Because now all those people that were distracted going to Bills games and Sabres games, you kind of get what I'm doing here, doing a little bit of reverse psychology. We'll see what their response is on this. So you take a whole bunch of Bills Mafia people with all of those signs and all the dildos and all that creativity that we do. Oh, Brett, I would love to. Yes, I'm in. I'm in. Absolutely in, Brett. You got my... Oh, do me a favor, Brett. Text me tonight, please. Text me right now because I got your phone call, but it was like 2 a.m. It was like I was 2 a.m. down on Chippewa back in the day, and I was giving everybody out my number. I was like, take my number, take my number, take my number, take my number. So I got a bunch of phone calls. Like it's a 2 a.m. on Chippewa on Saturday night. Like that's how many. So text me, Brett. I would love to come on. And I was so happy to meet Brett down there. Like it was great. It was great seeing him and all the work he's doing. But I would love to be on tonight, brother. Absolutely. Text me and we'll get together wherever you want me to meet. Guys, Brett does Edge of the Falls podcast. If you guys aren't listening to that, please do. It's amazing. Great job that he does. Hilarious. And he's fighting hard. And his brother happens to be JB Aaron, who is also the voice who sings the Boots. And man, that guy's got a voice. Absolutely love his voice. So anyway, chicken wings ain't food. Yeah, they are. But anyways, we all have to fight. But Brett, yeah, give me your contact or text me, and then I'll call you, or we'll get together. But that's what I'm talking about, guys. Brett, look at what he's doing. Look at what Mark and Jackie are doing. Each one of us, little step at a time. Little step at a time. Everybody is doing everything tonight. But guys, get back to Edge of the Falls podcast. Listen to it. Brett, his show was amazing. He's doing such a great job in fighting every little piece of the puzzle. That's what we do. You stop counting on somebody else to do it. You stop thinking somebody else is going to bring the sign. Oh God, no, who's the one? Oh God, who's the man? My brain is blanking. That was a good one too. So remember when Bills fans found out about the one player, number 7? Oh God, he had the dog guy with the dogs. I forget what his name was. And then he had the special name on the side. Good morning, Mickey. When we found out about it, and we were like, oh, Mexico, Ron Mexico. I remember the fake name. I can't even remember his name. Oh God. But the quarterback, it was a very good quarterback, but he dealt with it. But that's what Bills fans do. That's the creativity that's out there. Don't think somebody else is going to be the person bringing a dildo or bringing a beach ball. Be the person to bring the dildo to throw out on the field. Be the person bringing the beach ball with whatever's on it. And that's where we got to be. We all have to think that nobody else has it with anything on this, guys. We have to think and realize that even across the country that we can make that difference. We apply our energy the right way. We apply our direction and our focus in the right way, and we're going to make these differences. And we're going to make that change that needs to be changed. In all of these states that are red, like when you take a look at that map, that county map, red, and then it's blue, and it was barely, but you take a look and wonder, would it have been blue? Would those areas have been blue if there wasn't the election fraud? We need to fight all this, guys. We need to come together for happiness, peace of mind, allowing all ethnicities to just live and let live. And their kids not to move away and stay here. I went super long today, guys. There was a lot to talk about, and I'm super hungry now. So, Brett, I can't wait to see that text. Guys, I guess I'm going to be on a podcast, on Brett's podcast today. I can't wait. It's going to be super exciting. I can't wait to be a part of that. You guys should listen. Edge of the Falls podcast. I don't know when it's on because I don't know how podcasts work. Maybe I do. I don't know. I could probably figure it out easy enough. But this family, you guys know I love you guys. Everything that everybody did that went down to DC, and this family locally, and this family in this state. This family across the country that we grew our numbers, it is, Billy. Oh, Billy's amazing, Mark. I know it. Billy's so brilliant and intelligent. Love him. Patterson, New Jersey. I don't know his last name, but I'll get into that another time. But, you guys know how much I care about you. You know how much you mean to me. And, the love that I have for you guys and what you have done for my life. Just so inspiring, to give me the encouragement to do what it is that I'm helping all you guys do. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to go eat. Love you guys. Have a great day. Bye.